Here is another masterful creation by Antonio Guitars, and I've done a lot of videos about him so far, so if you don't know who he is, if you don't know what he does, check out some of my previous videos. But for now we're gonna concentrate on this beauty, Carl Reborn. Augustin told me that this guitar was not meant to be just a copy of a famous shape. It had to carry a story about memory, lost, symbols and music. A story that inspired one of the most emotional guitars associated with James Hetfield. This is Carl Reborn number 3132, a personal interpretation handcrafted by Augustin Christian Apostol in Romania. He told me that before the actual construction began, he spent more than a year researching it. He studied every available photograph, every angle, every visible detail of the original instrument. The most difficult part was finding clear images of the fretboard and of the details that are normally not visible to the general public. Some elements were difficult to identify, difficult to understand, and almost impossible to reconstruct without patience, comparison, and a great deal of attention. For Augustin, Carl Reborn 3132 was not a project that started directly in the workshop. It began much earlier in front of the images, in the research, in the questions, and in the attempt to understand the story behind the guitar. Only after this long period of research did the construction begin. He told me that he tried to take into account the position of every nail, every drawn line, and every detail that gives character to this instrument. And it's crazy. I'm looking at all of these nails on the top of the guitar and I'm comparing it to the images that I saw in the book. It's just amazing attention to detail. For the top he chose a resonant spruce wood, which he worked on in several stages in order to give it an old texture, almost burnt by time, and I can tell you it feels like old wood. It's pretty cool. He painted it several times using different shades and different types of finish, then brushed it by hand until the surface began to gain that irregular, dark and living depth. He was not looking for a perfect, cold or sterile finish. He was looking for a surface that would seem to have a history of its own, a guitar that does not look new, but as if it had already carried years of music, memories and stage life. Every mark, every texture and every difference in the shade contributes to the final image. Carl Reborn 3132, a guitar with a powerful presence, a dark atmosphere and a distinct symbolic weight. Of course, Augustin knows that a project like this can attract criticism. He told me that he is aware of the reactions that can be caused by a guitar so close to a story known and loved by many people. But he told me something else as well. That some stories do not disappear, they remain in the memory of the fans, in images, in sound, in symbols, and in the way a band can leave its mark on entire generations. For him personally, this guitar had to be reborn not as a simple exercise in reinterpretation, but as a visual memory of an era in which the music, the stage, and the image of a band made history. Carl Reborn 3132 is in its own way an attempt to bring that emotion back into the presence, that image, that energy that a band like Metallica left in the memory of millions of people, including myself. Augustin told me that for him this guitar had to be reborn, not to replace the original, not to pretend to be anything other than what it is, but to carry forward an image that has remained alive in the minds of fans. A guitar like this one does not speak only about shape, it speaks about time, about the stage, about loss, about memory, and about the way music can transform an object into a symbol. This is Carl Reborn, handcrafted in Romania by Augustin Christian Apostol. And the fact that I'm making a video about this one speaks volumes. I have a lot of my personal guitars that I have to record right now, but I'm sort of in a vacation, so imagine how important and interesting this guitar is to me to prioritize and record it for him. And it's been a massive pleasure doing this. It's an amazing guitar. You can check out the detailed video that follows. Absolutely a pleasure. And I'm not gonna include the original video that James explains about the guitar, but you can also check it out on YouTube. Carl is one of those unique signature guitars that are owned by the man himself, James Hetfield, that we're never gonna be able to obtain unless someone makes one for us. And this one is as good as it gets, other than the one that James Hetfield owns himself. I'm simply staggered by the attention to detail. Augustin really painstakingly recreated this nail by nail. You're free to check it out in the Guitars of James Hetfield book that most of you own, but I can assure you, Carl that is owned by James and this one are almost identical. You will not find this on Temu, I can assure you. The specs of this beauty are genuine mahogany body, genuine mahogany neck, spruce top, ebony fingerboard and natural shell for the inlays. 22 stainless steel Jesker frets and a bone nut. Spurzel locking tuners, same beautiful spruce for the headstock and a set of James Hetfield pickups. By EMG of course, Clouson bridge and a Goto tailpiece. Perfectly selected metal knobs to match the James Hetfield guitar, and we have neck volume, bridge volume, the 3-way switch, and this little one controls the LED lights on the fingerboard. There's not much I can say about this guitar that Augustin already haven't, but look at the immaculate fretwork, the crazy attention to detail for the inlays. So much work was put into matching the detail of James's guitar. Look at these nails. You can feel them. They're real nails. You can say that Augustin nailed it with this one. Get it? Nailed it? No? Okay. When you run your fingers through it, you can feel every pore. You can feel every little hole. You know, it's wow. That sounds dirty, but you know. Feels like old wood, feels like garage boards, and that is supposed to represent. Look at that detail, look at the nails between the pickups. It's crazy. I love the inlay work. You can check James's video to know the story behind these inlays. I love the headstock with Antonio's logo, and if you think this is cool, you should check out the back of the guitar. This is made by a couple of pieces of genuine mahogany. The neck is made out of 2 pieces of mahogany and a comfortable volute near the first fret. It's a comfortable thin neck. This is Augustin's construction. He does most of his guitar like that, only a single piece up there. Other than that, the body is 2 giant pieces of mahogany, the neck and the headstock as well. And the coolest detail in the back, the coins with the guys from Metallica. You had James, you have Jason, you have Cliff I think right here, and you have Kirk Hammett. And if you look closely, you'll notice another nail up here, which is pretty cool detail. Now I love the cover for the electronics because it's made out of the same spruce and you can pop it open. It stays in place, it's held in place by magnets. It has a Carl 3132 plaque in there. It has the post for the EMG, battery for the LED light, battery for the EMG pickups. Shielding foil on this side. This is a pretty cool piece. Here is a closer look at the certificate of authenticity with the specs in there, and I always love the message that he got here. The guitar was made in the land of Dracula, Romania. And now let's see how much this beauty weighs. Hopefully the boards are not too heavy, and no, that's a sweet spot of 4 kilograms. Or that's a little under 9 pounds, which is considered lightweight for a guitar like this. Speaking of personal voyages, because it seems that this guitar is very personal to Augustin himself, I'm gonna speak about my own personal experience with Metallica, because James Hetfield is the person that got me into playing guitar mainly. Well, I wanted to play guitar because of Slash, but Slash didn't play the style that I wanted. Then I found Metallica, then I found bands like Trivium, Matt Heafy. I got their signature guitars. But here's the thing, I used to own a lot of James Hetfield signature guitars. I had the Trucksters, I had the Snakebites, I had the Vulture. I didn't own any of the old ESPs, you know, the MXS and all. Fun fact, the Iron Cross, the white one, I've just traded it. It was part of a trade for a unique Chrysler SRT. The guy that gave me the car is a huge Metallica fan. He has a tribute band. I've reviewed some of his guitars. So I gave him the Iron Cross, the guitar that I thought that is never leaving my hands. But the thing is, Augustin was controversial speaking about ESP guitars for so long, and honestly, I start to understand him little by little. You cannot just say that your guitars are better than ESP, etc, etc. But for me, ESP guitars started to feel a little soulless, a little plasticky, you know. Yeah, they're great value, they look amazing, but the fact that I sold all of them, I didn't keep any of them, speaks for my personal preference a lot. So I look forward to get any of the old ones, you know, pre-2000s, from the 90s, things like that. But for now, I think that a guitar like this one has more soul in it. And I know I'm gonna be controversial about this opinion, but again, I'm not making this up. I sold all of my guitars. Yeah, I'm more of a Gibson fan, but there's something missing in those ESP guitars and the signatures. I don't know what it is. I cannot point it out, but yeah, I ended up selling them. And for me, a handmade guitar at this point is a lot better. And this is a personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. It's not this guitar versus this guitar. It's just part of growing up, playing more. I've been playing for 15 years now, and a guitar like this one, it's much more appreciated than a signature guitar or a mass-produced guitar. But again, I'm gonna say I would always prefer Augustin's personal designs. This is a tribute. This is something that means a lot to him. This is his own thing, and I'm really glad that I got the chance to appreciate it and play it. Thanks, my friend.